So there's been a lot of buzz recently about AI assisted tools that can supposedly make content creation a breeze. I'm not one to buy into hype without gaining some firsthand experience, however, so I decided to try a couple video creation and editing tools out to see if they're truly what they're cracked up to be. Today, I'm gonna be telling you all about QuickTok and InVideo and which of them is the better option based on my personal journey. Also, if you haven't signed up for InVideo AI yet, you can use the link down below to try it out for free. Okay, let's kick things off and talk about their pricing. I'm going to talk about InVideo first because there are a few misconceptions about their pricing policy I'd like to clear up. So you might have heard that InVideo charges $30 a month, right? Well, for starters, they have a free version that you can use as well. So it's not like they're forcing you to pay in order to use the tool or anything like that. Now, granted, you won't get access to the full suite of features if you don't pay for the premium versions, but even so, the free version is something worth appreciating. QuickTok has a free version too, by the way. So you have two solid options if you want to try before you buy. Now, another misconception I wanted to clear up was about InVideo's business and unlimited tiers. You see, a lot of people seem to think that they charge $30 and $60 a month for those plans respectively. And while that's technically the truth, it misses out on one crucial detail. You see, there's a way to get 50% off these rates. All you have to do is pay annually. Yep, it's as easy as that. And that's a big part of the reason I love InVideo's pricing options. Like if you want to pay month to month, that's totally fine. But if you're willing to commit to the app for a year, you can save a decent chunk of change. I kind of wish QuickTok had taken a leaf out of InVideo's book because their pricing seems really high in comparison. It's also a lot more complicated, which I wasn't a really big fan of. So in a nutshell, there's a professional plan and there's an ultra realistic plan. I'll get into their features later, but for now, just know that their prices can vary based on how many minutes of footage you end up exporting. There are 5 options for each tier, so strap in while I get into them because this is a lot more complex than it needs to be. Okay, so first off, the professional plan's options range from 70 to 500 minutes of footage and they cost $20 to $95 per month. That means you'll be paying anywhere from 28 to 19 cents per minute of video. And the ultra realistic plan is where things start to get really crazy. Basically, the options range from 15 to 150 minutes of footage, and the prices range from $20 to $160 per month. There's no annual plan in case you were wondering, so don't expect to get a discount for that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was sorely disappointed by the way QuickTok handled its pricing, so I feel like it gets a 2 out of 5 at best. InVideo's pricing, on the other hand, left very little to be desired, so for that, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Moving on, let's get to those features I talked about earlier. Again, the features you get depends on the plan you go for, but there are a lot of similarities between them all. Of course, the features differ a bit from platform to platform, but I'd say that both QuickTok and InVideo seem evenly matched at the first glance. You get a decent amount of templates with both options, although QuickToks are optimized for TikTok, whereas InVideo seem like they can suit a much wider range of platforms. Like with InVideo, you have literally thousands of templates to work with, plus a media library that contains 8 million images and videos. QuickTok just doesn't come anywhere close to this, I'm afraid. You get some royalty-free music and sound effects, but it really just feels like a tool that allows you to modify your TikToks. In a way, the features are optimized for the lowest common denominator rather than someone who actually creates and edits videos for a living. The editing tools they offer aren't all that impressive either. InVideo lets you do all sorts of things like adding text, overlays, and transitions, not to mention the endless list of effects that are at your disposal. As for QuickTok, all I got were some stickers, and the text overlays looked really amateur. Again, QuickTok really just seems like an extension of TikTok. So if you want to make some actually viable content, you might want to look elsewhere. To be fair though, there are a few things that QuickTok does better than InVideo. For example, you get a 400 gigabyte upload limit on the priciest tier, while with InVideo, you'll have to make do with just 100. The AI video generators can also go head to head, more or less, although I will say that QuickTok hides their higher quality AI generator behind a very expensive paywall. You have to pay for NVIDIA AI as well, but you get the most realistic quality possible with the business plan, so it's basically included as a standard feature. And there are plenty of critical features that make InVideo far superior to QuickTok. Just off the top of my head, I was able to export videos in 1080p quality on InVideo. But when I tried to do the same on QuickTok, I found that the videos were in standard quality. That's really not ideal if you're a professional creator or a business making branded content. You need to be able to upload high quality videos. Otherwise, you'll look like you don't know what you're doing. Overall, InVideo seems like a professional tool with plenty of advanced features, while QuickTok barely covers the basics. This is basically a repeat of the last round, except InVideo gets a 5 out of 5 because their list of features is straight up stunning. QuickTok gets a 2 once again, which brings their totals to 9.5 and 4 respectively. Finally, I'm going to cover the overall user experience. Look, QuickTok is designed for people who don't really know much about video editing, so it was bound to have an easy interface. And boy, did it deliver. I was actually really stoked about how easy everything was, mostly because of how accessible beginners would find it, if that makes any sense. You have to start somewhere, right? QuickTok might just be the best option in that regard. Also, there's something to be said about how trend-focused QuickTok tools can be. Like, if there's something making the rounds on TikTok, you can bet your bonnet that QuickTok will have a new tool that allows you to jump onto the trend. But with that said, let's be serious here. We're not just talking about having a good time, we're trying to figure out if QuickTok has what it takes to work in a professional setting, and this user experience doesn't make up for its lack of advanced features. Now, that's not to say that InVideo is difficult to use. Far from it, actually. I mean, sure, it's not quite as simplistic as QuickTok, but that's because it allows you to do so much more. And in my experience, the learning curve really wasn't all that rough, even if you're an absolute beginner. If anything, using InVideo will allow you to learn some new skills, which is a nice added benefit. Also, InVideo has some solid collaboration features. That's great for when you need your director or editor to see something you've been working on. Or if you want to get something approved by a producer, whatever the case may be, you'll be able to collaborate without a care in the world by just making a few extra clicks. So with all of that considered, I'm thinking InVideo deserves a 4 out of 5. The user interface is a bit tricky at first, but you'll get the hang of it before too long. QuickTok also gets a 4 out of 5 because they deserve some credit for making something so intuitive. However, that's not enough to make up for everything else, so InVideo is the tool I prefer out of these. Its final score came up to 13.5 out of 15, which is pretty dang impressive if you ask me. And it shows that the tool is worth the asking price. As for QuickTok, well, if I wanted something to play around with for TikTok, it'll work just fine. Unfortunately, it's not something you can use to level up your content output in any meaningful way. So I'd say that its final score of 8 out of 15 is actually pretty fair. Also, if you haven't signed up for InVideo AI yet, you can use the link down below to try it out for free. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you think. Will you give either of these tools a try? Let me know what your experience is like if you do. But yeah, that's all for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.